Pearl, directed by Ty West, is one of the most psychotic movies I've ever seen, guys. We're just gonna get straight into it. There's no fucking intro. We're just going into it, guys. Mia Goth in this movie is so fucking amazing. And I love Mia Goth, guys. You know, she's fucking great. And obviously she was great in this X like horror trilogy by Ty West. And I feel like in all three movies she's pretty good. But this is like her standout performance in my opinion. And I feel like in general, the whole X like horror trilogy, very mixed reviews. I've seen people like all of them. I've seen people like not like any of them, you know. They're definitely interesting movies, but I feel like for the first X movie, I thought it was great. Definitely kind of paying homage to that like kind of 70s type of style horror movies. Very Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you know what I mean. Definitely plays into different genres and themes of like that Ty West is trying to explore, you know. And I feel like for the most part, X was a great movie. And I enjoyed it, but there's something about Pearl, man. Like, this fucking movie is so psychotic. And like I said, you know, Mia Goth, I think she should have been nominated for an Oscar, bro. I really think, like, this is literally, like, some next level, like, shit. The plot of this movie is basically kind of exploring the old lady from the first movie, X. This is basically her origin story, you know. And you definitely see, like, what kind of causes Pearl to kind of go crazy, you know. And by the way, guys, this video is gonna have spoilers, so I'm just letting you guys know right now. If you have not seen Pearl, highly recommend you guys watch Pearl. I truly, like I said, we're gonna get into why I enjoy this film, but it is a great film and I recommend you guys watch it for the most part. But anyways, just the whole plot of this movie basically kind of have just Pearl living on this farm, and she obviously has bigger dreams of being a star and doing big things outside of this small town, you know. And just kind of seeing how like her own dreams and ambitions kind of just completely take over her, and you see that she gets so obsessed with it that like it literally becomes like her sole purpose in life is just to really like escape this life that she has, you know. Obviously her mom is just super like very old school, you know. No, you need to be realistic, you need to work, you know, you need to be on this farm and this and that. I mean, it's just like very like her mom clearly does not think she has a future in whatever her goals are, right? And there's definitely a conflict in her, and you kind of see how that affects her. Just the way that the mom talks to her, she kind of just like belittles her sometimes. It's just very just like interesting to see. And obviously like as the movie goes on, you kind of see Pearl's dynamic like relationships with other people, other characters. The other movie theater worker that she meets, you know, that's also just very interesting scene when she first meets him. But just her whole relationship dynamic is crazy. What I found so funny is once this guy realizes that this chick's fucking crazy, he is really trying to dip, bro. He's like, fuck this shit, dude. I am not gonna stay here any longer. Then he gets fucking killed, unfortunately, and it's like, damn, like, that was so fucking crazy, bro. Like, I find that scene so hilarious that she's trying to convince him to stay, and he just like not having any of it. And it's definitely one of the funnier moments in the movie. But right after him, he gets brutally fucking killed. And some of the violence in this movie is pretty crazy for the most part. And I love the whole theme of this, like kind of like early 1900s. It's very like just a callback to that time period, just the way that they talk to each other, you know. Mia Goth has like that southern drawl, you know, and it's great. I feel like her performance is so great, it's so believable. It's like it definitely elevates this movie. She is really, I've said this in a lot of the movies talking about, she is the heart and soul of this movie, truly. Just, and I mean that when I say that, she is really the heart and soul of this fucking film, because she elevates this movie to a completely different level. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when she auditions for the fucking like part or the dancing that she's wanting to get into, and you see like kind of like the shots in this scene are great. You kind of see how it's very like grandiose, it's over the top, and then like the reality, you snap back into reality. It's like this girl just ends up not getting the part, and they keep saying like, oh, for her to like leave the stage shit, she starts crashing the fuck out. Then you see how her other friend gets the fucking part, and you just see the conflict she has within herself, and she starts fucking tweaking out, bro. She like fuck kills her mom. She thinks she like locked the mom in the basement or something, you know. I mean, this movie is fucking just over the top crazy. It's like, I feel like she definitely gives off like the Wizard of Oz if like Dorothy just completely went psycho. I mean, because she obviously kind of looks like Dorothy a little bit. Definitely, I think Ty West took inspiration kind of that whole kind of farm girl type of look, that type of vibe, you know, for this movie. Definitely see it. It's very vibrant, and definitely kind of gives you that feel of that Wizard of Oz kind of, you know what I mean? But it is a great movie, and for someone that likes horror, obviously, I feel like X, you know, for the most part was good. I was like, you know what, this movie might be the same level as X. Was not expecting to enjoy it as much. And you know, Maxine, definitely the weaker one. Maxine, you know, is a different type of movie, you know. I don't want to get into it that much, but Maxine was very interesting for the most part. But I mean, back to Pearl, you know, there's a lot of great shots in the movie. Definitely the way that the camera kind of captures Mia Goth's emotions throughout the movie. It's pretty haunting, man. You definitely feel like the eeriness and just you get the fuck creeps sometimes just watch. I think one of the scenes that bothered me the most, that whole cornfield scene where she's literally like dry humping the scarecrow, just it's just very just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck am I watching? It's so fucking creepy. And I want to get into like the very ending. Obviously, the whole ending monologue, everybody knows it already if you see this movie. It is so fucking. You kind of see how she's kind of explaining like her emotions, how she feels, and she says like, "I'm not really a good person," and she's killed people before. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It is fucking disturbing. And this is why Mia Goth's so great, because she's able to capture that emotion in this scene. Though there's a lot of actors that cannot pull off what she did, and it's so just. It's so deep, and you kind of feel the weight of like all the things she's done. She's kind of spilling out to her friend like all this crazy shit and her thoughts, and you kind of get into her mind, just her mindset, her thought process behind all the things that she's done. It is obviously, you know, that ending shot where she's smiling into the camera for like a couple minutes straight. That's fucking absolute cinema, guys. That Martin Scorsese's me put it on screen, because that is what I thought about when I saw this, guys. Pearl is fucking a modern day classic in my opinion, you know. I feel like for the most part, there's definitely things that we wanted to know. Definitely like the ending scene where like one of the ending points where like her husband kind of comes home from war, and he kind of comes home to all this shit, and we don't really get to see what happens afterwards. You can definitely see that being a complaint. I was really wondering like why they kind of cut it off at that kind of part. That was getting kind of interesting. But besides that, you know, I'm gonna get Pearl like an 87%. Truly just a great horror movie. Definitely the best in the X trilogy for the most part. X is good. Pearl is the best one. Maxine, like I said, very interesting movie. But you know, Pearl, guys, I recommend Pearl. If you have not watched this movie, I recommend it. I think it is great, and it's definitely gonna give you that eerie feeling for the most part watching it. But other than that, y'all, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Why are you leaving me? If I didn't do anything wrong, I don't understand. I thought you liked me!
I do like you. I just...
Tell me!